Great to be back. Excited to get to training camp with these guys. Next phase of us preparing ourselves for football, and can't wait to get out on the field with these guys tomorrow. Excited and proud of the work that they put in. You start this journey as they come back in January through your winter, spring, summer. Proud of what we've done or what our players have done, leadership that we have inside of our locker room. And now it's about taking the next step and taking steps every single day, competing to be our best individually and collectively as a group. Got great leadership on this team. I know at some point I'm going to get a question about Boo, so I'm going to address that right now. Boo is a part of our team here. There's some things that he's got to accomplish to get back on the field with us. Don't have a set timeline on that. Our leadership council has been a part of those things, those discussions with me and with Boo. I'm proud of what they've done. They care and love Boo, and want him to be his best too. And through this, I think Boo sees that as well. And at the end of the day, us collectively continuing to grow here through the course of training camp. I will be the one that will take questions on Boo, and that's today and here throughout the beginning part of training camp as well. But proud of how our team has handled those things, and ultimately we'll handle those things internally. I'm not going to get into details on everything. So excited to roll. You guys are going to get a chance to hear from some of our staff and players today, but everybody in the building is ready to go for tomorrow. So with that, let's open it up.
Questions? We have mics on each side. We'll start with Brent up front.
Yeah, Josh, how much dialogue over this month have you had with Boo, and kind of what's your policy with players not being around for, quote, summer volunteer workouts? Do you have a set policy on if they go work out with their trainer or somebody else? How does that work?
Yeah, and end of the day, it's a requirement to be here, be a part of what we're doing. There's a lot of information out in the world. Some of it's correct, some of it's not. I'm not going to address everything. Over the last week, we're disappointed with how some things were handled. At the end of the day, you have a conversation. What does it look like moving forward? And that's all parties. That's our leadership council, Boo, and our staff. And so it's not about what yesterday was. It's about today, and we'll see as we continue to progress where that leads us.
So have you talked to him before today?
Yes, I had.
Okay. So you've been in contact with him the last week or so?
Parts of it, yes. I'm not saying every day, but yes.
John, then Ben.
Yeah, Josh, do you always consult with your leadership council when you're making a decision involving discipline a player?
I think always is probably a stronger word than I would say always. My wife would tell you would get me into trouble. But I think each situation is unique, and I think, in leadership, it's important that you step back and, try to look at it from different angles as well. Ultimately, in this case, we had, conversations with multiple parties.
So you could say sometimes or often.
Yeah.
Ben.
Josh, what gives you confidence that your leadership council will welcome back Boo with open arms, and that his return won't impact the locker room or the leadership or your culture?
Yeah. Well, you guys on leadership council, I know it's true in the locker room too. They care about the person, care and love for him, and want him to be his best. I think that starts in life, through the conversations we've had with him, and then that parlays itself onto the football side of it as well. So I'm not worried about the chemistry. At the end of the day, there's standards that we all have to meet, and that's everybody in the building. When somebody fails in that, whether they get another chance or not, that's, each situation is different. But ultimately, Boo's got to meet those standards here as we move forward.
Elliot and Carlos.
What's one thing you want to see out of your team in this fall camp heading into week 1 in Atlanta, and then an SEC looming game up ahead? first?
Yeah, I'm not sure how many days it is until kickoff, but it's going to approach fast. Being where your feet are at, I think is really important here through through training camp. And through that, if you are where your feet are at, you're going to drain everything out of it. That's on the practice field. It's in the meeting room. It's recovery. All the things that ultimately go into them being their best. And collectively, if you do that, you're going to take big steps forward, and every team in the country at this point's got to take big steps. And I'm excited to start that on-field part of that tomorrow with our guys.
Coach, first of all, it's nice to meet you. Carlos Lopez with Vols. This will be the second year that we have Spanish coverage of our beloved Vols. Yeah. We already have such a passionate fan base, but what does it mean to now have Spanish-speaking families all over Latin America and first-generation people here in the United States connecting with our team in their native language? Yeah,
you've done a great job of that for a long time, but I think it's an opportunity for us to continue to build our brand and to continue to expand our reach as an entire athletic program, and then certainly on the football side of it this fall too. So excited that we have an opportunity to do that.
Adam, then Brent.
Josh, with the quarterback competition, is there a preferred way you would like this to go? And not picking a guy, but like the timeline of when you know and when you feel confident, at least privately, about who the guy is. Would you like that to be sooner than later?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. That gives you more time to build, continuity, whatever it might be. But at the end of the day, I think it's really important. You guys heard me say it at media days that somebody's got to go earn it, and it's not in one throw. It's not on one day. The consistency of who you are, the growth of who you are, and how you continue to grow from practice to practice. I think it's important. The staff sees that, but most importantly, I think your players see that as well.
Coach, one final clarification for me on the Boo situation. When you say has things to do to get back, does that mean he will be in meetings, not be allowed to be in meetings? He'll be at practice, he won't be at practice?
I'm not going to get into all the details of everything. He's here, he's with us, and each day we'll figure out what comes next.
Rob, then Austin.
Coach, on the quarterbacks, having played the position yourself, how much does that inform how you handle a competition where it's kind of wide open? I mean, being transparent with your guys, how much do you value that?
Well, I think the communication side of it, it impacts it a great deal, whether that's, me as a player going through different quarterback battles and, at different stages of my career having quarterback battles. But the playing experience, the transparency of it, communicating together with all of those guys, when they got back in the summer, they understood this isn't something that's going to be decided in June. It's not going to be decided in July. You got to go earn it and take it during the course of training camp. Everything that you do is a part of who you are as a player, but also how you're impacting and ultimately making the 10 guys around you better too. And, as we go through training camp, those conversations will be had with, collectively the group as well, so that they can see that it's transparent, it's real, and there's no misinformation.
Josh, when was the last time you had a quarterback competition and a center competition going on at the same time? Because those two people start with the ball in their hands to start every play. So when was the last time you kind of had that? And when you've had a quarterback competition, as an old quarterback yourself, not to say these guys are adversarial, but do you kind of like them to not be super chummy and have a competitiveness there between the two?
I think it's important that they're competitive with themselves first and foremost. Are you competing with the guys in the room? Absolutely. How that drives you on a day-to-day basis, I think is the most important thing. That's true June and July. It'll be true during course of training camp. I think it's really important that collectively you do it in the right manner, where you're helping, encouraging, and supporting each other too in a positive way. I think that's important for your team to see. But ultimately, the strength of one position can never be one guy. We've sat in rooms with, 3 guys that ultimately went on to the NFL all at one time, that were at one point competing for a job. So I think it's important that they handle it the right way. These 2 guys with George, Joey, and Merck. All three of those guys have done an elite job of competing and pushing each other throughout the course of the summer. They've grown. They're at different stages in their career as far as eligibility, years on task inside of our program, what we're doing offensively. They've helped each other through the journey of the summer, and I think that's going to be important as we get into training camp too.
We'll go to the back with Casey, then Kate.
Anything that you've really seen click about George and Jake with there being a quarterback competition this year that maybe wasn't present in how they approached practice, approached the day last year, with kind of knowing that they would have that backup role?
Say that one more time, just the names on the front end, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. George and Jake, anything that you've seen from them with them knowing this year is a quarterback competition, whereas last year they were more, solidified in the backup role. Anything you've seen stand out because of having that opportunity?
Well, George just getting here, in December for playoff prep, leading into spring ball. I thought those guys collectively as a group, as a pair, supported each other through the learning curve, and that can be, mistakes that you made when you first got to campus. It can be on the detail of a play. You can see those guys helping each other inside of the meeting room, asking a lot of questions. So I think that's been really positive, and just want to continue to see that as we go through training camp.
As Jermod McCoy makes his way back, have you noticed that he's doing anything special or different to make up for the fact that he is limited coming back from that injury, and is there a timetable?
No timetable on him. There's benchmark things that he's got to accomplish within our training room to move on to the next phase of it. He's handled it really well, from the very beginning, just his mindset and how he's approached every single day. He's done a really good job throughout the course of the summer. Periodically you can see his drills, movement, explosive type drills that he's doing change, based on his rehab protocol, and he's handled it extremely well. And, as we go through training camp, there will be a progression. How his body responds to some of those things will kind of dictate the time period of when he's available for us.
Vincent Eric.
Josh, at the center position, how valuable do you view experience in the list of traits that you're looking for to fill that spot?
The priority checklist?
Yeah, experience.
I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you to restate what you just said on the back end.
For the center position, how valuable among the traits for a center do you view experience?
Yeah, I don't think you can solely look at the experience of the player. Otherwise, your young guys are never going to get an opportunity to get any experience. The ability to communicate at a really high level, get all five guys on the same page, pass protection, run game, the ability to snap it accurately and efficiently, the ability to play with fundamentals and technique. End of the day, offensive line, your center, but you got to get the best five guys on the field that are going to go operate as one, and that's what we got an opportunity to do. We got competition, and I'm looking forward to see that unfold as we get started.
Saying on the offensive line, looking at Lance Hurd, where is he physically, mentally, everything now compared to this time last year, and how important is he for you, your lone returning on the offensive line?
Yeah, a lot different physically, just in what his body looks like, his ability to move. A year ago, got nicked up multiple times early in the season, training camp and early part of the season. I think that limited his ability to grow as a really young player who had only had one fall before he had gotten here. He wasn't a mid-year enrollee either. I think all of that has led to him really growing throughout the course of spring. He's done a great job during the course of the summer, and now we got to go take it to the field here in fall.
Coach, in light of Jermod's situation on the other side, you got Ricky. What kind of offseason have you seen him have, and what kind of jumps can players take going from their first season as a starter to second season when they try to improve?
Ricky did a lot of really good things last year at a really high level. Physically, has done a good job of continuing to add weight to his frame. The detail of his fundamentals, technique, and then understanding of our scheme has continued to jump. I expect him to play at a really high level, and obviously we got some competition on the back end as well, and excited to see that unfold.
Josh, is there still a chance that Boo would be used on offense, or his off-season situation? Does that affect that possibility?
Yeah, we're going to take it slow here in the beginning, and we'll figure out where we're at as we get deeper into camp.
Hey, Josh, Andrew Smith, Johnson City Press. Back on the offensive line, just how have you seen that position group kind of mesh and grow throughout the summer, not even just with the center position, but with all 5 guys?
Yeah, influx of some high school guys into the offensive line room, a couple of transfers in there, seeing those guys connect and challenge each other inside of the meeting room. And that certainly takes place as you get out on the practice field or in the weight room too. So I think the group has continued to grow close. The connection, the continuity that they have in that room. And that allows you to challenge and demand things of the guys around you, too, in a positive way. So I think all of those, you've seen a lot of growth from even where we were when we started spring ball, finished spring ball, better leadership inside of that room. So I'm excited to see those guys get on the field and compete here.
Trey, then Austin.
Hey, Josh, in this day and age of the transfer portal, NIL and whatnot, in this era, how important is it for you to give guidance to the leadership council, the guys that are seniors and juniors have been around the program, for them to be able to teach these young guys or even the transfers that come in how you guys set the standard, but also trying to engage, bond, build up that camaraderie between teammates?
Yeah, what it takes to be successful on a Saturday afternoon or evening hasn't changed, right? You get between the white lines, the game has not changed. Outside of it, there's been, dramatic changes over the last 4 or 5 years. The standards of who we got to be and how we compete and grow together as a team, that can't change. And, that's, earlier on I mentioned just I love the leadership and the accountability piece of what we have inside of our building. The challenge is to continue to grow that through the course of the season. You get into the day-to-day inside of football. Sometimes that can take a step back if you're not intentional on it. I think it's really important as young guys coming into your program, the older guys are essentially being a big brother to those guys and helping them grow and understand what it takes to be successful at this level, what it takes to be a Tennessee Volunteer. I think we built a group of guys inside of that team room that care about each other.
Josh, with Jamal McCoy's situation, now Boo Carter's situation, can you talk about the value of a guy like Colton Hood? I know he wasn't here in the spring, but what have you seen out of him through summertime when you're able to see these kids now that maybe you weren't 5-6 years ago with the change of rules that makes you think he's going to be a factor for you in one spot or another? Yeah,
he's smart. He's accountable. He's really mature. He's got some leadership traits that I think as he's here will continue to show up more and more, each day, but each block of our season and ultimately our off season too. He's got position flexibility. He's got great understanding of the game. He retains information really well, and he's played and he's got experience. So he came in here learning what it takes to be a Vol, what does a great teammate look like here, and I'm excited to see him continue to grow on the field and off the field inside of this program.
2 more, Paige, then Rob.
I'm sure each year has their own identity about 30 days out from the start of the season. What do you think the identity of this team will be by the end, or what do you hope it'll be?
Yeah, leadership, accountability, and then we get to playing, the effort and attitude that we approach every day with, the consistency of ultimately what our fans are going to see on Saturdays. But to do that, you got to be consistent every single day. So that's what I expect from our guys and what I think I'm going to get.
Coach, at receiver, you got some young guys that seem to be super talented, Mike Staley and Amari Jefferson. Just what's your confidence level in those guys stepping up?
Wide receiver position or in general?
Wide receiver.
Yeah, young guys don't have time to be young. It's been one of the things that we've talked about as a program since we got back in January. Our coaches are responsible for that. Our players are too. Guys that are vets inside of those position room. I really like the guys that we have inside of the wide receiver room. That's athletic traits, playmaking ability, their attention to detail. Excited to see that room continue to grow throughout the course of training camp and really through the season as young guys continue to get better.